Welcome. So we're getting this new year started. You've probably heard that we're kicking off a 30-day Get Shredded challenge. So this whole week, for those of you that are in the Get Shredded program, is meant to become a soft opening or education week. And what we're going to do is releasing those videos that will eventually be private to those members of that group, to the public, just to give you a broad overarching idea of kind of the program that we're going to follow. We just want to start with kind of our core concepts that we're going to be following during the 30-day Get Shredded challenge. So even if you're not exactly following that challenge along with us, if you didn't make it into the 10-person cap, you can still follow along with some of the main concepts. And come a month or two from now, when we run the challenge again, you can join on with us and kind of be ahead of the game that way. So I wanted to start with the educational video. The 4 most overlooked keys to fat loss. So when people start to think about getting back in shape, losing fat basically, retaining muscle or gaining muscle, we all know some of the main concepts. You need to exercise more, you need to eat better, blah, blah, blah. Tell me something I don't already know, right? So you guys probably know all those main concepts. So what I wanted to do is take a moment and really touch on some of the most overlooked concepts that really hold people back from their goals, whether it be performance or, in this case, we're talking about losing fat. So we're going to start with number 1. It's probably maybe the most important one, not the one we see the most often, but definitely the most important one, and that is that you don't weight train often enough or at all. This could be whether you're a member here at the gym, maybe you're kind of cherry picking your wads, you don't like heavy weight training, or maybe you're not a member yet, you're just kind of checking us out, and you haven't been doing any weight training because no one's ever taught you how to do that. The most common misconception here is that to lose fat, I have to do a lot of cardiovascular work. It's just running and jogging, or running and biking and rowing and things like that. And a lot of people, when they're trying to really maximize their fat loss, will stop weight training or minimize the amount of weight training they're doing and really go heavy on their cardio time. And this is a mistake because while cardio will help you burn calories while you're doing it, it doesn't have some of the positive effects the other, let's say, 23 hours of the day that weight training does. So weight training does a really good job of eliciting a hormonal response. We won't get too in depth on that, but it's a hormonal response that causes your body to build or retain muscle mass, lean muscle, which in turn burns more calories at rest or raises your metabolism. It gets a lot more in depth from there, but the biggest thing you want to take away from that is that you should be doing some form of resistance heavy weight training. And it should be under the guidance of a coach, making sure that you're doing those movements correctly, properly, and safely. Number 2, this is the biggest one that I see most often, basically, especially with my CrossFitters here. You drink too much alcohol, whether that's too often or too much excess, or quite frankly, both. If you haven't gone a weekend without drinking more than 10 beers or 10 drinks in quite a few months, then you probably need to take a step back and take a look at your lifestyle choices and just realize that overconsumption of alcohol is really playing some negative side effects in your fitness goals, whether it be performance, again, or in this case, it definitely plays a huge role in fat loss. It inhibits fat loss. So if I was going to create a magic potion that's going to make you fatter, I would create beer or hard alcohol or something like that. When we drink too much too often, it definitely creates this downward spiraling system of things in your body that causes your body to retain fat, as well as it inhibits recovery from your training, things like that. So this is the biggest one that you need to really take a hard look at yourself at and realize that if you fall under that category, if you're drinking too much alcohol. Next one, you don't eat real food. So real food from the earth, lean meats, vegetables, and healthy fats should really make up the majority of your diet. As Americans, the biggest issue that I see with people is eating too many processed grains in the form of bread or pizza type setups and pasta. The hard fact about those types of food is that they're just so calorically dense, excuse me, that it's really hard to burn off the calories from that one sitting of just eating that one meal, whether it be pasta or something with bread in it and things like that, as well as some of the other side effects that, negative side effects that those types of foods can have on you, like swelling and things like that, retaining lots of water weight. So we want to make sure we're getting the majority of our diet from real food. Again, lean meats, those are straightforward: beef, chicken, or beef, poultry, and fish. Vegetables, you want to go with green vegetables as much as you can. You can eat some starchy veggies, try to limit those somewhat. Fruits kind of fall under that same umbrella. You can have fruit, but you want to limit that somewhat because it does have that sugar in it. And then your healthy fats, unsaturated poly or monounsaturated fats, those are coming from real sources like avocados, almonds, olive oil, things like that, coconut oil, those natural sources. You want to stay away from, again, those processed foods like breads and pastas, and definitely want to stay away from processed sugars and sweets. Again, something you already know. Get away from the cupcakes. Number 4, that you don't get enough sleep, and this can play a large role in lacking or inhibiting your progress fat loss wise, or just performance in the gym, because not just because you're going to be tired during your workouts, but again, going back to that hormonal response that I talked about with weight training. When you don't get enough sleep, your body goes into a state of stress, basically, and it releases all these negative inhibiting hormones like cortisol that cause your body to retain more fat. And then again, obviously, sleep is the biggest time when your body repairs or recovers from the training that you're putting it under. And so if you're not getting the adequate amount of sleep, you're just not recovering as much as you should or need to be. So we should be looking for at least 7 hours of sleep each night. Probably 7 to 8 is much better. So there you have it. Those are the 4 most overlooked keys to fat loss. For more details or in-depth talks about that, keep checking out our blog like you are. We'll be coming out with more specifics about these topics. Or if you want to talk one-on-one with a trained professional, email me at crossfitbigdane@gmail.com.